Hello, Atlanta Falcons fans. We've got some big news today that you won't want to miss. So get ready. There's a lot to cover. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update on our Falcons. Also, drop a like to help grow our community and bring this content to more passionate fans like you. Now let's get straight to the latest news. Kirk Cousins, linked to an AFC team. It looks like Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons are set to go their separate ways next month. And now, a new AFC team is being mentioned as a possible landing spot. On ESPN's Sports Center this Sunday, Jeremy Fowler reported that the New York Jets might have their eyes on Cousins when he becomes available. He pointed out that the Jets have shown interest in Cousins before and might be willing to reignite that interest now. With the NFL scouting combine just around the corner, Fowler expects Cousins' agent and the Falcons to have serious talks about his future. The Falcons need to make a decision soon, especially since Cousins is due to receive a $10 million roster bonus on March 17th. Back in 2018, the Jets were all in on signing Cousins, but he ultimately chose the Minnesota Vikings instead. Now, with a new front office and uncertainty at quarterback, the Jets could take another shot at him. With Aaron Rodgers no longer in the picture, New York is searching for a long-term solution at QB, and Cousins might be their guy. What do you think, Falcons fans? Should the team move on from Cousins or try to keep him? Let us know in the comments. Jets face competition for Kirk Cousins. If the New York Jets want to land Kirk Cousins, they won't be the only ones trying. Despite their 5-12 record last season, the Jets have talent on both offense and defense. Plus, they have an open starting quarterback spot, making them an attractive option. If they do sign Cousins, they might even flip him in a trade later, thanks to key offensive stars like Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, boosting his potential success. Why did Cousins lose his job in Atlanta? Cousins lost his starting role with the Falcons late last season as rookie Michael Penix Jr. took over. One big reason? Turnovers. Cousins threw 16 interceptions in just 14 games, which put the Falcons in tough spots. Even though he still managed 3,858 passing yards, there were also concerns about his Achilles injury from 2023. While the Falcons insisted he was fine, some believed he hadn't fully recovered. Last offseason, Cousins signed a 4-year, $180 million deal with Atlanta. This time, he won't get anywhere near that, but at 36 years old, he still believes he can be a winning starter in the NFL. Falcons must address their biggest need, edge rusher. In a perfect world, the Atlanta Falcons would land a game-changing edge rusher, someone like Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, or TJ Watt, with the 15th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. A dominant pass rusher has been the Falcons' biggest weakness for years, and finding one on a rookie contract could transform their defense. Of course, the draft is unpredictable. The Falcons could use pick number 15 on top prospects like James Pierce or Mike Green, or they might wait and grab a day 2 or day 3 pass rusher. One thing is clear, Atlanta must fix its pass rush in 2024 if they want to take the next step. Falcons need more than just rookies on defense. The Falcons have learned a tough lesson. Rookie pass rushers often need time to develop. Even stars like Myles Garrett and TJ Watt weren't dominant in their first seasons. So no matter who they draft this year, Atlanta should also look at veteran edge rushers to strengthen their defense right away. Could Preston Smith be the answer? One interesting veteran just hit the market, Preston Smith. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Pittsburgh Steelers released Smith on February 14th to save $13.4 million in cap space. Since he was set to be a backup in Pittsburgh next season, the move made sense. But in Atlanta, Smith could be a starter. Before joining the Steelers at the 2025 trade deadline, he was a key piece for the Green Bay Packers. There were even rumors last season that the Falcons might trade for him, but that never happened. Now they might get a second chance, and at a much cheaper price. Why Smith could still help the Falcons. Smith turned 32 in November, so he's not the same pass rusher who had 12 sacks in 2019 with Green Bay. But he's still productive. If given 50 to 65% of the defensive snaps, he could realistically put up 6 to 8 sacks in 2025. That would be a huge boost for the Falcons, whose leading pass rusher in 2024, Arnold Ebiketie, had just 6 sacks. Smith has recorded at least 8 sacks in 6 of his 10 NFL seasons, so he could bring much-needed consistency. Atlanta's past mistakes at edge rusher. The Falcons made 2 big mistakes at edge rusher last season. They waited too long to address the position. Instead of drafting an elite pass rusher early, they waited until day 2 of the draft. They let key veterans walk. Players like Calais Campbell and Bud Dupree were allowed to leave in free agency, weakening their pass rush. Atlanta tried to fill the gap with Matthew Judon, but it wasn't enough. If they want to take the next step, they need to fix their pass rush this offseason, starting with a veteran like Preston Smith. The Falcons' pass rush gamble backfired last season. The Falcons took a risk. They let veteran edge rushers walk and didn't invest in a true impact pass rusher. That decision backfired. Without experienced players to support him, Arnold Ebiketie struggled to develop into a dominant force in 2024. Now Atlanta needs both a short-term fix and a long-term solution at edge rusher. Could Preston Smith be a temporary fix? While Preston Smith isn't the long-term answer, he could serve as a bridge player, similar to what Calais Campbell or Bud Dupree were in past years. In 17 games last season, Smith put up 4.5 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 6 quarterback hits. He started 9 games for the Packers before being traded to the Steelers, where he played 30% of their defensive snaps as a depth piece. Smith's career numbers show reliability over 10 NFL seasons. Smith has been consistent and productive, recording 70.5 sacks, 74 tackles for loss, 157 quarterback hits. He has also played in 163 regular season games, showing durability and experience, something the Falcons desperately need. Signing Smith wouldn't be a long-term fix, but he could provide valuable veteran leadership while Atlanta searches for their next great pass rusher.